all, Stacy the Blackfeather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked, Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today we are doing another segment of blind deck dates. And this is something that just kind of came to me in the middle of the night and again in the morning. And I thought, you know what? This is just going to be fun. What happens when we, take the deck combos to the next level and just do these blind deck dates and see what comes up. And so today we are going to be exploring two decks that I think I actually did a pretty good job of just from the outside of the boxes kind of pairing, but we'll see what happens with the pairing of the cards on the inside. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so we have today a blind date with the Chromatic Fates Tarot and Pure Magic Oracle from Andreas and Gracia. And what we're going to do with these two decks is we're going to introduce them to one another and just sort of see first impressions on first glance from a physical perspective. Do they like each other? Do they match? Do they look good together? Is there something fun going on here? Is there some initial chemistry going on? So we have these two absolutely beautiful decks. First of all, just looking at the backs of them, they do tend to blend. We've got black and gray. We've got black and gray. Of course, the background is very light and this background is dark, but there's a lot of gold flecks. We have little specks in the background here. So there's a really nice contrast. I think it really blends well just looking at the two of them from this vantage point. So let's turn these bad boys over and let's start the date, see how it goes. So we have 6 of Cups here, and we have 17, the mantra medicine, command, song, incantation, and containment. So at first glance, we have a single woman, both sitting sort of cross-legged. Now she's got her legs crossed and she's actually crisscross applesauce, but they both have their legs crossed. She's looking straight ahead. Her hand is up. Definitely she's meditating. This one, I feel like she started to meditate and then she got bored. So I definitely feel that there's a little bit of maybe a little dissonance here on their first meeting with this first card. The colors are not completely jiving, but they don't hurt the eyes either. The styles are definitely different. Here we have mantra medicine, command, song, incantation, and containment. So again, just on first glance, taking a look at the images. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. We have the Queen of Swords and the Earth Mother, psychic recharge, grounded healer, mentor, and layers. What I find interesting here is even though the colors are very different, she's got blood on her sword, and we have a red hand. I believe this is meant to be a henned hand or like the hand of Mother Earth. But it's interesting that there is the primary color in each of these cards, or the color that draws you out, is the red. So there is a little bit of connection here at first. Maybe not totally yet, but they're working some things out. We've got some black in the background, and of course we've got the black leaves and the black bird that's coming through. Also, like Earth Mother, we can think of that in terms of Gaia, not a queen necessarily, not royalty necessarily, but goddess energy, which is similar. Here we have 3 of Swords and Ocean's Muse. Water's wisdom, intuition, hermit's light, and discovery. So again, looking at this, when we're connecting these two together, the colors are not exactly totally matching or blending, but yet there is this green and this teal in hints of the image. So I think there's something really interesting to that as well. We have definitive swords, but out of the heart comes all of these little feathers and these little fronds, which definitely put us in mind of the seaweed, the flora and fauna of the ocean floor. The heart tends to be a muse energy, and they're talking about the muse energy. Obviously, this muse is in the process of healing. and perhaps water's wisdom, tears can heal. Intuition is connected to the heart, is connected to water. Hermit's light, when we heal in this way, we often are hermiting, needing to be alone. And whenever we're wounded like this, we have the opportunity to learn something new about ourselves. And that's in a big way why these, sort of heartbreak situations happen. It's to help us learn about ourselves. Let's take another look here. We've got the Three of Cups. Oh, another three. Three of Cups and Belladonna Visions. So aesthetically, the colors are matching here. They're blending. There isn't a lot of synergy, I want to say, in the flow of the imagery, but the cards definitely match. Three of Cups, celebration, enjoying that celebration. Belladonna Visions, caution, guidance, clarity, stand firm. So I want to say this deck is more cautious in nature. This deck is definitely saying, hey, we're not going to dive all in. This deck is a little more bold and in your face. Like, hey, come on, let's do this, let's do that. I would say this is more of the extroverted deck, and this is a little more of the introverted deck. Oh, check out this pairing. Wow, this looks really cool. So this is the Nine of Wands. So that resilience, dealing with issues of control. Here we have drawing down the sun, wildfire, divine masculine, magnificent, and witness. Wow, this is really cool. So these two cards really blend. They really pair well. We have wildfire. He's working towards or walking towards the wildfire. He has his wand, and perhaps he is drawing in the sun, drawing down the sun. Either he's drawing it down or he's calling it forth, depending on how you want to look at it. I love that it looks like a wildfire, and we have all of this kind of glitz going on in here. That's really cool. That's kind of a cool pairing. Okay, we'll just do a couple more here. Four of Swords. Interesting. Four of Swords is the card of rest, truce, relaxation. She does not look like she is resting in any way, shape, or form. She actually looks like she's being protected. She's in a bubble, but it doesn't look like she's resting as much as she's being protected from something. Here we have raising winds, magical release, calling, intention, and stronghold. What I'm drawn to here is she's in that bubble. We also have a little bag here, and there is a hand that is holding the bag, supporting the bag. What is the magic that's in the bag, right? So she's in the bag. She's in the bag. We'll do one more here, and then we'll move a little further on our first date here, our blind date. Here we have Nine of Cups. Apparently nines are important right now. And we have 23, Salamander, Ouroboros, creative work, infinite wisdom, and alchemy. So the colors have similarity. I wouldn't say that they blend entirely, but they don't clash entirely either. There are some similarities, but definitely these decks are very different. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle each of the decks up, and we're going to get a feel. We're just going to continue on with the date and see how things go. So let's shuffle up and see what the spark is between these two. What unique chemistry emerges when their voices blend. This is going to be interesting because they are quite different. They are very unique in their stylistic features. So I'm kind of curious to see if this is one of those things where opposites attract, where love can grow, or whether this is a done deal. Just going to tweak that a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, interesting. So here we have, you got to move along, Fuzz. Here we have the Two of Cups, and we have telekinesis, influence, willpower, control, and obstacles. Wow. Okay. So Two of Cups, obviously this is pairing, partnership, union. When we're looking at this particular deck here, they're looking in the mirror. They're meeting in the mirror. He's in a different world, and the mirror is the portal. So he's in a water world, and she is, perhaps this is a water world as well. But she's inside. She's indoors. No, do not mess with the camera. Thank you so much. She is indoors. And this deck, I feel, is imitating the flow. Like when you look at this card, everything seems to kind of flow up. It has a natural rhythm and a natural flow. And I feel like all of the vines here are flowing upwards. The telekinesis, this is very similar to the sort of that Ace of Swords energy, because you have a single sword and all of this inspiration is growing around it, or wrapping around it. Maybe it's trying to control it. Maybe it is inspiration and it's trying to influence the next step and the next path. Clearly, here we do have obstacles. They're in different worlds here, right? So they can connect through the mirror, but it's a very tiny window of where they can connect and how they can connect. So there are some obstacles to their path together. And I would say to you, maybe that's where the willpower comes in. Is it maybe going to take a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra work to get to know one another, right? I feel like the unique spark is that there definitely is chemistry, even though there's a difference here. There's chemistry between the two of them. And maybe given a little bit of time, there's going to be that inspired information, that inspired guidance to really be able to call each other out. But to also make the unique pairing matter, make a difference. That is so cool. Okay, let's see what we got next. And you guys know Mr. Neo always has to get his face in here. It's time for his close-up. This is the clash. Where might these two decks clash? Their personalities challenge each other or cause tension. And this is always a really good one because, tension isn't always bad. Tension is just sometimes uncomfortable. Sometimes we don't want confrontation. Sometimes with a deck, we want, something soft and gentle. And other times we need something that is going to be a little more in your face or on the nose. It depends on where you're at. And I feel like with these two deck energies, I think that's what we're going to get from there. Is they're not going to lie to each other, but we'll see here. So we have the 5 of coins and Baraka, power, strength, force, and expansion. Yeah, wow. This deck, for it being pure magic and seemingly, even with all of its color and everything, it's seemingly more gentle. It really packs a punch. And I think it's really interesting here that we're looking at the 5 of coins. 5 of coins is a card of worry. But when I'm looking at this card in particular, we have so much green and we've got a wolf. And I feel like it's the wolf in sheep's clothing, or the wolf, the Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf dresses up in Red Riding Hood's cloak because he's trying to hide something, right? Trying to be secretive, trying to be sneaky. And this card is coming up and saying, no. We're gonna expand you. Have strength. Use your power to not go this way, to not go the way of lack and scarcity and feeling like you have to fight for every penny, or that things don't work out for you, or that you feel left out in the cold. This is an empowering card. So I feel like when this one wants to feel sorry for itself or it wants a commiserator, this deck is going to say, no, we got to show you the other way. No, I'm going to empower you because I know that you are either better than this, or I know that you can have more than what you think you can have. So I feel like it's going to be an empowerer. And sometimes, when we're having a moment and we're not feeling so confident, we need someone to kind of, nurse us and coax us. And I don't think this pure magic deck is going to do that in this combo. All right, let's check out the hidden layers. What unexpected truth does one bring out in the other? Ooh, this is always a great question to ask. All right. Ooh. All right. Oh, very interesting. Oh, and I love the color match here. That's interesting. So hidden layers. Here we are talking about how these two decks don't necessarily, hum or harmonize in the ways that we would, that are like immediately on the nose. But I'm feeling like this is showing us now, especially with this hidden layers, that there's more than meets the eye. So here we have the King of Cups. So someone who is emotionally balanced. I love that we have sort of a male centaur, and the main color of the image is this beautiful pink, which is the self-love, the self-care, the unconditional love, that he is confident enough that he's walking in his unconditional love world. And levitation, she's in pink and in red here. She is in her flower of life, Merkaba. She is traveling. She's going to higher ground. It looks like he's going to higher ground as well, because you see all of these mountains and things around him. So he's traveling, he's on a journey. She's going to higher ground as well, perhaps to meet him, or perhaps he's going to meet her and he's just kind of taken a lay of the land. It's connection to belief. What do you believe? The mastery of your life, and meditation. So when we're talking about that hidden layers, I feel like this deck is going to bring a little more balance to this. Like they're wanting to come together. They're just taking a little bit of a time to get there, and they do it in different ways. You know, this is slow and steady wins the race, or it's, hey, before we take action, I need to tune in. I need to tune in and make sure that this is, you know, the right way, or I need to feel into this in order to make sure that the next action is going to work out for us. And King of Cups says, I feel it already and I'm just moving ahead. I'm full of that passion and I'm moving forward. So their approach is slightly different, but I feel like they're kind of on the same road, especially with that water energy. And there's like this purity, it looks like she's actually on snow, but I see a little bit of the water, the stormy kind of energy that's coming through. So, you know, we have some of that element. That's really cool. I like that. All right. And then we have here future date potential. So if these decks kept working together, what kind of guidance would they eventually co-create? Ooh, I love this. I love this blind deck dating. This is so fun. Oh, we have another pink card. This is the Four of Wands. That's really fascinating. Wow. Okay. So there's a little bit of like the body is pink. There's some bolder pink here in the energy. What's interesting is we've got a 4 and a 14. So definitely that 4 energy into 5, the foundational energy. This is Sylphs, peace, agent of change, impact, and importance. 4 of Wands is about establishing a new foundation. It's like a graduation. You're going from one level to the next. And I feel like the Sylphs card is coming up to say, we're going to help with that change, because you are going through the change. We're going to guide you through it. We're going to give you, you know, the flowers of wisdom to help you make that change, because we know that you're gung-ho. We know that you are ready to go and you've got so much enthusiasm. That's not in question at all. We're going to help you to get there. And maybe we're going to help you to temper it a bit so that you don't burn yourself out. There is still sun. There still is fire. There's passion. There's flame. That's important. But you can see here, that's not the primary focus of this card, but it is on this card. So I feel that there's a little bit of balance. And I feel like this deck, once again, is going to empower this deck to find what is really important, what really matters here, what really is setting the stage, what really is at the foundation of your why. I feel like that's the guidance that's coming through. Oh my goodness. All right. So as a lasting impression, how do I feel this deck is going to be? I want to say to you, I feel like this deck combo, they're definitely going to have a second date, a third date. And you know what? I think they're actually going to develop a bit of a relationship. I feel like there's some chemistry that is brewing here. And there's enough of a similarity that the guidance is going to, in the end, support each other, support the messages, but there's enough difference that it keeps you on your toes. Wow. Okay, this is just so fun. All right, guys. So that is our divinely decked, oh my God, what did I call this? Blind deck date segment for today. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm just having so much fun doing these. Please feel free to put anything in the comments about, whether you're enjoying these, whether you think they're fun or not. Maybe put in some of your own deck combos. I'm going to try and start to pick some random decks, like right on camera, so you can actually see that I'm just picking this one, and let's just have some fun. Because, why not? Life is too short. Until I see you guys again for another segment, I'm going to send you lots and lots of love. Take care. We will see you on the flip side, and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.